Hello and welcome back to episode 46 of the Jumping Through Hoops podcast with myself, Hannah Charlotte. And today I'm really excited because I've got a guest on who I've never met in person. I've met her online through a coaching program that we're both doing currently with a wonderful lady called Brianna Rose. And I started talking to this lady, I think it's about 2 weeks ago now, and she's just got such an interesting story to tell and very, very inspiring. So I'm going to introduce you now to Christina Giampetruzzi. So over to you, Christina. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. Like Hannah said, we don't know each other at all. I'm actually in New York in the United States, and obviously she's in the UK. So we have not met each other at all. And I love how platforms like social media and Zoom can connect people all around the world. So I'm really excited to chat with you guys today, tell you a little bit about myself and my story, and just have you guys listen in.
Excellent. Yeah. So do you want to tell us, first of all, what your business is, and then do tell us your story because it is so inspiring.
Awesome. So I have a really successful, amazing business with a company called Arbonne International. And I have been with them for about a little over 3 years now. I actually started as a client. So I was a believer in the products and just the company in general before I jumped in. But basically, in a nutshell, we aim to help people flourish in all areas of their health, mind, body, and skin. We work to help you have a stronger mind, a healthier body, and more beautiful skin through our incredible products. And also, we have an incredible business opportunity. I should maybe go inside because all of a sudden there's a million trucks going by. It's so quiet here.
Cool.
Anyway, so we have the product end to help people mind, body, skin, that whole total wellness connection. And then we also have an incredible business opportunity attached to it that initially I was not interested in at all, but I'm so grateful I said yes to. And that's part of my story that I'll tell in a little bit. Do you want me to get right into that, or do you want me to?
Yeah, so in summary, so basically what you do, you work for Arbonne, and I think a lot of people probably have heard of the company Arbonne. I know I've heard about it a lot, and I think a lot of people tend to have this perception, don't they, around companies similar to Arbonne. Obviously it is a network marketing company, isn't it? But a lot of people, they refer to it as a pyramid scheme, which I think is a kind of wrong interpretation of it. So obviously what I've got you on here today to do is to try and dispel the myths around it, because I think, even I have to be honest, I was a little bit ignorant about it in the beginning when some people would used to approach me, wanting to sort of get me on their team. And actually I've used the products and I really like the products. But, it's not something I think that people should view. My personal opinion is that I don't think people should view it in that way, because it's helping so many people. It's helping people start businesses, it's helping people, as you say, with their health and wellness. So I mean, that's obviously why I wanted to get you on here, to try and change the perception around it and a way of thinking. And obviously when you told me your story and how you got into it and how it has helped your life, that is the part for me that thought, oh, I've got to get you on my podcast to talk about this. So yeah, let's hear the story.
Okay, no, I love that. And I'm really excited because part of my story is that I, like Hannah, was super skeptical and super hesitant of jumping into the network marketing. I was the person prior to taking a look at this that looked at everybody else who did, quote unquote, one of those things and thought that they were kind of out there. Why would jump into something like that. So I'm going to go a little bit into my background, how I got started, a little bit of the background about Arbonne in general, and then kind of it will make a little bit more sense to kind of debunk some of these things. So just a little bit about Arbonne in general. So who we are healthy living enthusiasts who really believe everybody can flourish. And we do that by being good to ourselves, our community, and the planet. And that's actually part of like who we are. That's on like our company website. Like it's something that we truly believe in, and we empower people to flourish with sustainable, healthy living. So another thing I really, really love, it's a sustainable, healthy living approach for total wellness. And we really, we're a B corporation, so we really balance everything from people to customer welfare to social impact to environmental impact. So I'm just talking specifically about like Arbonne in this instance, in like we really have a mission to do so much good for the world. And I just didn't know that, you know, companies like that existed and that they really wanted to do so much good out there. And after being involved, I realized how much good they truly are doing. So a little bit about my story. So I'm going to backtrack to actually about a little over 5 years ago. So October of 2014, I was in my mid 20s. I thought I had my life figured out. I was living in Manhattan. I had an apartment on the Upper East Side. I just thought, wow, life cannot get better. At the time, I was working for New York City public schools, and I loved my job. I loved my students. And one day I was just basically standing outside, waiting to talk to a parent. And all of a sudden, a car out of nowhere came and reversed into a group of people on the sidewalk, me being one of those people, and basically like plowed into us. And it was deemed accidental afterwards. It wasn't like, you know, somebody wasn't trying to do that. However, it was an extremely, extremely, extremely traumatic point in my life, not only physically, but emotionally, mentally. Like, I kind of felt like after that happened, my whole health pretty much derailed. I was out of work for about 4 months. So from October to January, it's like the end of January. So that's January 2015. And over those 4 months, I gained about 30 pounds. My mental and emotional health were at the lowest point they had ever been before. I basically developed such a fear of so many things: fear of driving, fear of death, fear of diseases, like anything that would point to somebody dying or death in general. I had this total PTSD fear around. And I had to work on myself a ton. Again, not only physically. So of course I went to physical therapy and all of that, but I also went to therapy for my mental health, and I did something called EMDR, which is eye motion desensitization and reprocessing, and it basically rewires your brain to process traumatic events differently and to commit it to storage as opposed to having it in that frontal lobe. So I was in that for a good 2.5 years and made a ton of leaps and bounds in my mental health at that point. However, after that 2.5 year time span, I kind of felt like, all right, my physical health was still very poor, but I finally felt like emotionally and mentally a little bit more back to myself. And that's when Arbonne was basically introduced into my life. I was kind of at the point where mental health wise, I was ready to kind of take control of my health again, because for so long it was just not anything important because I was clouded by all of these other things going on. So Arbonne was presented to me through something called their 30 Days to Healthy Living program, which basically in a nutshell is a program that's designed to establish healthy habits to fuel your body. You learn to tune into the messages of your body and understanding how to eat and drink more intuitively and more clean, and following a balanced diet, promoting a positive mindset, optimizing how you look and feel, using plant-based products and clean ingredients and all of that stuff. So I was really intrigued because during all of my research, the time when I was out of work, I became really interested in health. So it was kind of like a catch-22 because my health was really, really, really poor at the time, but I had done all this research about good health. So I had all this knowledge, but I just wasn't ready to implement it. So when this 30 days was presented to me, it was kind of like, wow, this is basically everything I had researched about how to reset your body, how to have better gut health, the mind, body, skin connection, how everything is just linked. And I just felt like there was a reason why this was presented to me at that time in my life. So again, I had no interest in the business. Again, at this point, I was just still really stuck on let me get healthy, right?
Mm.
So I jumped into this program, and I was absolutely blown away with how I felt. And that was like the biggest thing for me, because I had felt so poor health wise for so long. And jumping into this program, I really felt like it gave me that healthy living reset from the inside out. And this is coming from somebody that has done every type of fad diet, crash diet, you know, skipping meals type thing prior. So this was the first time that I felt like what I was jumping into was truly genuine and it was truly helping me. And even to this day, I mean, a lot of the things that I learned during that first round that I did, that first 30 days to healthy living, I have taken lifelong with me and still use today, like how to read a label and kind of decipher what ingredients may be harmful for my body or
Yeah.
not the best for my body and my gut health. What foods will fuel me, what foods are more nutrient dense, what meals are more balanced. Okay. And I had such a flawed view of health prior to that from doing all this stuff, all these crash diets and all these wacky things prior. So it was really nice to see like, wow, I can really make a lifestyle change here, not only for myself, but also for my family. And I don't have to starve myself. I don't have to just drink, protein shakes all day long, although of course protein shakes are part of our 30 days to healthy living, but you're not just drinking shakes all day
Yeah.
long or drinking lemon water all day long. Like you're eating clean foods to really fuel you. So I fell in love with this program and basically what was happening, and it was kind of happening naturally. And if you think about it, this is basically how network marketing works in a nutshell. Obviously, it goes a little bit more in depth than this, but I'm just going to give an example. You have whatever your favorite, I'm holding up sunglasses for those that are listening to the audio, but like your favorite pair of sunglasses, okay? And somebody asks you where you got your sunglasses. And you say, oh, I got them on Amazon, or I got them at their Tom Ford, or whatever you got, okay? And then that person loves them so much, so they go and purchase them. You're doing basically a product recommendation for another company, but that company is profiting and not necessarily you, right?
Mm.
So what was happening is, here I'm drinking my energy fizz sticks. Again, for those who are listening to the recording, I'm holding it up, my glass with my energy fizz in it. And, people at work, I forgot to say this before, I'm also a full-time speech pathologist. So when I was out of work because I work at a school. And, but this was, 2.5 years later, I'm back at work and, I meal prep. So the night before I would have my lunch that I would bring and I would meal prep it in a container. I would have my protein shake for breakfast. I would have my energy fizz to kind of keep me going throughout the day, because I was the type of person that was drinking close to a pot of coffee a day for 10 years. And I still felt so exhausted because coffee causes that spike and then that crash all day long. So the energy fizz has helped. But anyway, getting to the point, people would basically see me using the products. Okay. They would see me drinking the fizz. They would see me mixing my protein shake, and they would also see my results, right?
Mm.
I was kind of transforming in front of people's eyes over a span of time. And what happened was people started asking me what I was doing, right? They were like, what are you doing? You look great. You feel great. Like you could just tell that I was resetting in all areas of my health. Because mentally, physically, skin wise, all three of those areas that I mentioned, that mind, body, skin connection, they were all like flourishing. They were all improving and getting better. And I was just happier all around. So people started asking me, and I would talk about the program. Just like anything in life, when you're super passionate about it, maybe it's your favorite restaurant, maybe it's your new pair of leggings that you just bought 5 pairs from, maybe it's, sunglasses, like I mentioned before. And I was just really talking passionately about the program. And I'm like, this has really helped me. I really feel healthy for the first time, blah, blah, blah. And I had some people who were like, all right, I'm in, I want to do it. And I'm like, okay, great. And I basically like took their information, like went to my sponsor who signed up, and I said, hey, I have a few people interested in the program, like, you know, so and so is going to contact you, you can sign them up. And she was basically like, dude, you're doing exactly what I'm doing, you're talking about it, you're speaking passionately about what has helped you, you're directing them to the products you're using, you're already doing exactly what I'm doing, right? So why are you going to pass these leads on to me, or these people who are interested onto me, when, you know, you can basically upgrade your account, become an independent consultant and sign them up yourself, and then, you know, it's a win-win, because you're going to get a deeper discount on the products. Now you're also going to be able to turn this around and help other people with your health, with their health, just like you helped yourself with yours. And at first I was really skeptical, did what I have done my whole life. I went into Google and I typed in Arbonne pyramid scheme. And of course, tons of stuff came up, because that's what people do. They put false information on the web. And I was super skeptical, because I was the person, like I mentioned prior to me telling my story, I was the person that really thought people were crazy for jumping into network marketing. I just thought, why would somebody want to do something like that? So I actually started like thinking to myself, I started getting really clear with myself, and I said, all right, self, let's look at your life, and where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because that was one of the questions that she asked me, was, if you keep doing what you're doing, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I knew that at the time, and I wasn't really saying this to anybody, but I knew, like, in my heart and deep down, like, what I was really craving was not only this whole healthy living, but now I wanted to really live out my life on purpose and actually do the things that were on my bucket list, especially because I had that traumatic event. I mean, when people say your life flashes before your eyes, that is true. That is fact. It happened to me. Maybe it doesn't happen for everybody, but it happened for me, where you literally feel like you are that close to death, and that you're, you know, like your life kind of flashes before you. And so because of that traumatic event, I developed this sense of like, I have one life, I have a purpose here. Like, I have things that I'm supposed to share with the world. Like, I want to live out my life on purpose. I want to be dreaming wide awake, and I don't want time or money to keep holding me back from the things that I want to do. Right.
Yeah.
So, I got really clear with myself. I started doing some research with more reliable sources instead of looking at some random post from several years ago on Google that, honestly, after reading them now, I'm like, this could not be more false. But I put that ego aside, and I said, what do I really need in my life? I'm getting my health straight, right? So my health was on the right track, but what was missing? Okay, I was missing the time and financial flexibility piece. Okay, at the time, just me personally, I was drowning in credit card debt. I was the person, when I was living in New York City in my mid-20s, I couldn't afford to live there. I was basically living on credit. You know, like my salary at my job was basically covering my rent and a few bills, but all the other extracurricular stuff that I was doing, I was throwing on credit cards, going to wine bars, getting tacos, you know, going to all these cool museums and fun clubs. And I was throwing that all on credit cards, you know? So I racked up a lot of debt by living there and just being a young, you know, didn't really care about the future person. I also had a ton of student loan debt. And again, not that those things are necessarily bad. A lot of people have them, but I noticed they were holding me back from doing a lot of the things I wanted to do long term. I really wanted to go travel the world and see places. You know, there were so many times I said, I wish I could go here. I wish I could go here. But I was either held back by time or money, right? Or I wish I didn't have to get, you know, a second job. You know, I was not only working full time as a speech pathologist, but I was also doing some side work. And like right after working my whole day, I would have to do something else. And again, nothing wrong with it, but just for me personally, especially after experiencing that, I just wanted more out of life. I wanted to dream again. I wanted to do the things that were meaningful for me. So I needed more time and financial flexibility into my life in order to do that. And I said to myself, okay, self, if I don't jump into this opportunity, what, like, am I getting any closer to my dreams? And the answer was no. And then I said, okay, if I do jump into this and I work hard and I'm consistent and I'm disciplined and I'm passionate and I put in all the effort, like, is it a guarantee that I'll be successful? No, by no means. Okay. I kind of compare network marketing to a gym. You can sign up for a gym and be all like, rah, I'm going to be amazing. I'm going to hit all my goals. And then, I mean, like I've done this before, like classic move, you sign up for a gym or a class, and then that membership fee just kind of gets drawn out of your bank account and you're just, you're not going. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a gym, like there are no guarantees that you're going to, create the life you want just by joining, right? It's the commitment that you have to consistency, effort, getting into activity, talking to people, all of those things in a professional, compliant, way where you're connecting with others. That is what's going to, help you succeed, right? So I kind of compare that to a gym. So I said to myself, if I do this and I join, like I'm joining, I'm jumping with 2 feet right in, and I'm gonna do this, So I basically like said, all right, here we go. I went on the website, I clicked upgrade, I upgraded my account from preferred client to consultant, and I started that first month. I started my healthy living the beginning of February 2017, and a month later, it was about the middle of March, so I guess about a month and a half, I joined as an independent consultant and I upgraded my account. So that's when I joined. And despite the skepticism and the hesitations, I knew that my soul was looking for a greater purpose and a way to help people with their health and a way to help people have more time and financial flexibility in their life with a company that stands behind truly wanting good for the world, right? So I jumped in, and those same people that said they were interested in the program were really excited to get started. So I was able to sign them up, right? And I signed them up. I got them started. I was so excited to coach all of them on their 30 days to healthy living and their new approach to resetting their body and all of that. And I was seeing, in Arbonne, we get paid every Tuesday, and all of a sudden I was bringing in more money, right? I was bringing in more money, and I was just like, wow, okay, like this is exactly what I needed. You know what I mean? I needed a way to be able to help people through all these amazing avenues of social media, of seeing people in person. Right now, the last few months, obviously it's been a little bit different with the in-person stuff, but going back 3 years, like there's so many avenues to connect with people through Facebook, through social media, through Instagram, through Zoom calls, through in-person events, talking to people individually, meeting up with them. Like I wanted to make connections with people, right? That was the biggest thing. And that's the biggest thing in Arbonne too, is to connect with people and to help them reach their goals, whether it's health, right? Or through the opportunity, or a combination of both. Okay. So I became so proud of what I do. And I also was living for those text messages of like, Christina, like, I am loving this program. Thank you so much for introducing it to me. Like, I really feel like it's improved my health. Or Christina, thank you so much. I am, able to bring in more money for myself and my family to do the things that I now want to do. And I'm so thankful that you introduced me to this. And I think when I first started, when you think of network marketing and you think of some of the things that you find on Google and stuff like that, you think of there's one person at the top, and then there's, all these other people at the bottom working for this one person at the top. Because that's what a pyramid looks like. There's a point, and a point indicates one person, and then a whole bunch of other people working underneath that person. And that is so not true. We actually have thousands of people at the top 2 levels in our company. Okay, so the quote unquote top, there are thousands of people at that level. And none of those people got there because their team pushed them there. We have things in place, and most network marketing companies also have these things in place where, you have to put in the effort, the consistency, the discipline. Like, you can't just depend on other people to push you up. That's not how it works. If you don't work your business, eventually those people are going to pass you. And that's, I think, something a lot of people don't understand, is that everyone has equal opportunity in network marketing. It is not based on who's above you and all those people there. It depends on your growth, your effort, your discipline, your consistency, your activity. It depends on all of that. Now, the beauty of it is, though, that we're able to take that and sponsor other people into our business and help them grow. So that's the thing I love, is I continue to grow, but the more people I help, the more they grow, the more I grow, and it continues to just keep going and going and going. Yeah. And those, like I mentioned before, those people at the top 2 levels, when I wasn't there yet, like when everyone starts at the bottom, I guess you could say, as an independent consultant, and then you work your way up. But a lot of people said, well, only the people at the top make money, and I said, well, I'm going to be one of those people. Like, just because I'm starting as a consultant now, like I'm going to be one of those people, like I'm going to work hard to get there. And those people at the quote unquote top were some of my biggest mentors, some of the people that poured the most time in out of their own life and their hearts to help me. Okay, so they're taking time out to help me. So of course they're getting paid for that. Okay, they're taking out time to help somebody be successful and to teach me. They really taught me how to do this. So, and now I'm able to do the same to my team and say, here, I want to get on a Zoom call with you and teach you this and help you with this and help you grow. And it's beautiful to see. And we are really, a company that stands behind, like I said before, the good for the world and people and our community and sustainability and all of that. But we are also like, I just love us so much because we are here to really empower people to go for their dreams. Yeah. Like, no dream is too small, and everyone, no age, sex, gender, like socioeconomic status, nothing, like everybody has equal opportunity to succeed, and we want to truly help everybody flourish. So that was a really lengthy explanation for how I got into what I'm doing, but I wanted to kind of be clear on why I did it in the first place, the background of my life, and where it got me to today.
Amazing. I mean, obviously, like, in that story, you can tell how passionate you are, and I think that's the key, isn't it? Really, I think for if you're going to get into anything like this, you have to be passionate about product, and you have to be passionate about what you're doing. And I mean, it's like that with anything, whether it's network marketing or if it's whatever business you're running. The key is the passion, and without the passion, it's not going to be successful, is it? And I think that's perhaps why there's some people, there's these myths. I say myths, I mean, there are people that it doesn't work out for, but because they're not as passionate about the product and they're not putting the time and consistency and effort in. And again, it's like that with absolutely anything, regardless of what it is. You've got to have that passion, you've got to be consistent, and you've got to be dedicated. And obviously you have been, and you've done really, really well. Like, so what level are you now at? So what?
Yep. So we have 4 levels in our company. The first level is district manager. Then there's area manager. Then there's regional vice president, which is the level I'm currently at. And then the last and final level is national vice president. That's this level my sponsor is at. And I have experienced really in the last like 6 to 7 months, I want to say, a ton of growth in all areas, that I'm kind of really getting close to going to that next level. And I'm so excited. And listen, I am well aware it's going to take a lot of, like I said before, time, effort, consistency, all of those things. That's what it takes to be a successful business owner.
Yeah.
Not just, okay, all these other people are going to work underneath me and I'm going to continue to grow. Like, it's work, but it's work that I'm so passionate about and has helped so many people do so many things. So I'm really excited, really, really, really excited to see where the next few months take us. And
yeah, it's amazing. And you can tell you're obviously going to be, well, you are successful, but you're going to be even more successful with that passion. And obviously you are. And I think, if you want to, well, first of all, let's, before we end this, tell people where they can find out about you, because you have got a group, haven't you, on Facebook, and obviously you're on Instagram. And do you want to mention where people can find you if they want to find out any more?
Absolutely, I would love that. So thank you so much, Hannah. So I am on Instagram. I mean, my last name's really long. It's very Italian. I'm like a typical New York Italian girl. So my Instagram is basically my first and last name with an underscore in between the two. So it's Christina _Giampetruzzi, and that's Giampetruzzi. I'm listed the same way on Facebook, Christina Giampetruzzi. However, there's two of us because my sister-in-law has the same first and last name because she's my husband's sister and she's not married yet. So we literally have the same exact name. But I am the one with dark hair in the picture. So I'm Christina Giampetruzzi on Facebook, Christina _Giampetruzzi on Instagram. My Arbonne website, I actually should change this, actually goes by my maiden name, which is so silly. I should really change that. But that's christinakohler.arbonne.com. And then I also have a VIP like Facebook page where I post like product specials and, actually I've just posted something this morning that Arbonne is now in the top 20 global network marketing companies in the world. And last year, I think we were like in the 28th or 29th spot. So we moved up about 10 spots in 1 year. We've had so much growth as a company in 1 year. I'm talking like 30-40% growth in the company in just a year. So that's incredible. So I posted that in my VIP page today, and that's just Christina Giampetruzzi, Arbonne independent consultant, and I have that Facebook group as well. And I just post a lot of, I post a lot of stuff in there. I post meals that I make. I'm really super into clean, healthy cooking. So I post a lot of foods that I make that actually align to our 30 Days to Healthy Living program to basically show people this is not a program where you're starving yourself. Like, you are eating a ton of great foods. I post some fitness stuff in there. I post product specials and new launches and just some really cool stuff. And then just some life stuff too, because that's always important. So I would love to connect with you guys. Arbonne is actually in the UK. We have affiliation with that there. And I'm looking to expand globally. So listen, if anyone is interested, I would love to talk to you guys. Even if you want to just hear a little bit more about me and my story, I would love to connect and talk, because I love helping people and chatting with people. Like I said, I'm a speech pathologist, so communication is my forte.
And I think if I just want to add, because I think, again, the perception that people get, and I know I've had the personal experience of people trying to sell things to me, and it just comes straight in trying to sell. And I think that is probably what people, they have this blocker up, don't they? Because they might have experienced something like that in the past. Whereas obviously you have sold this to the people that you've got in your team through, it's real. Do you know what I mean? You've used the products, as you say, you've got your story there. And I think maybe if there are other network marketers listening to this and then perhaps not maybe doing as well as they perhaps want to, they should probably listen to your story and hopefully feel a bit inspired by it, because obviously, you know, you've done this all the right way, because you're not hounding people. Like, I know you're in the group, and I didn't even know that you did this until like we got speaking, because you know, I knew just you through your story, and I'm like, you know, and I was like, oh, you're interesting. Like, I was sort of looking you up on Instagram and stuff. But that's the way you do it. And again, with any product, I just say to anyone listening to this podcast, because I know lots of people have, you know, various businesses, that is how you sell. Okay, you sell whatever product you have, you sell through you and through your energy. And obviously, we're learning all about that at the moment, aren't we? In the program that we're in together with Brianna Rose. But you know, as I say, if there's any other sort of network marketers listening to this and they're struggling at the moment, then listen and follow Christina, because you know, she knows how to do it.
No, you're so right, and I really thank you for saying that, because that's actually something I teach my team not to do. Like, I say, guys, please, the worst thing you can do is have a message that is, you know, basically your go-to message, and you take that, your hey girl, blah blah blah, and copy and paste that and send it to 100 people on Instagram. I'm like, that is how this gets a bad rap. You know, like, that's how you have a name that you're just in this to, you know, sell product. You know, this is a network marketing, and social marketing is connecting with people. Okay, I like to make the connections first. And listen, if I get this gut feeling that like this is just somebody I really want to share it with right out the gate, I will say that to them. Like, I am just getting this gut feeling that I have to say this to you. And, you know, but for the most part, I like to form connections with people and get to know people. And especially in-person stuff, I wish we could do a little bit more of that. You know, the last few months we haven't been able to, but I love connecting with people in person. I feel like you can really, you know, see them for who they are and connect with them. So it's all about making connections and helping people. And I think that's the biggest takeaway. I hope everybody listening understands from this. It's not just about shoving products down people's throats. I mean, of course, we're here to sell products, and we're selling products that are absolutely incredible and are really good for you. But we are not just here to sell fizz sticks and protein powder and lipsticks, right? We're here to really make an impact, and to do it through empowering people and helping others and communicating and making connections. Like, that's really where it's at. And I'm so grateful that this has been shared with me, because my life would really look very different without Arbonne in my life. So I'm blessed. And for anybody who's on the fence or is still really skeptical or has hesitations, I really encourage you to, you know, especially if it doesn't have to be me or anybody who's maybe approached you about, you know, network marketing in general for whatever company, like, I encourage you to really connect with that person a little bit more and dig a little bit deeper, because the, you know, the surface level stuff can look like, oh, I'm just getting involved in one of those things. But when you dig deeper and you really connect with that person, you might realize maybe this is exactly what I'm needing to have X, Y, and Z, whatever your goals are in your life. So I encourage you guys to do that. And like I said, if you're feeling that pull to connect with me, I'd be more than happy to talk with you and tell you a little bit more and stuff like that. But this has been so awesome, Hannah. And let me just say, like, you are incredible. I just want to love on you for a second. So like she mentioned, we are in this course together. We are totally, and we're in different continents, you know, so we obviously don't know each other personally, but it has been such a pleasure to get to know you. And you're like Wonder Woman. You've done so many things in your life, and honestly, somebody I look up to. So thank you so much for having me on here and inviting me on here. It was a true pleasure, and I'm really grateful.
Oh, thank you so much, Christina. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to send some fizz stick your